What is up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is November 19th, 2019, and we're back at again on the charts. Yesterday we did a major price action analysis. Other than GU, there wasn't really much there, and we'll go into that. But we are in pound yen, and this is a beautiful sight to see. This 4-hour candle is looking real nice. I think we're currently up 24 pips into profit. And today's session, we're going to focus on GUGJ, maybe do gold and euro, just see what they're up to. And then at the very end, we're going to start this thing I spoke about last week. We're going to do these daily topics. And today's topic is what to look for in a trade. I'm going to be going over a few things just so we can get more information from these sessions. So be sure to stick to the very end where we're talking about that. So GJ was not a pair we analyzed in yesterday's live. It was actually a setup I found later in the day, right during the Asia session. So very simple setup, very common to what we trade. It was based on the 4-hour resistance we've created for GJ up here at 141.187. And obviously you don't always sell at resistance, like you don't always buy at support. What we waited for is some sort of confirmation, and for us that confirmation was this candle right here, an indecision candle. The next confirmation for me was an hourly closure below this secondary resistance. As you can see, there's kind of two zones here, from here to here, and then there's a smaller zone from here to here. You can see that smaller zone. So on the smaller time frame, we actually did get that closure below this secondary resistance, and I'll show that on the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we did get that closure, and just based off experience, I knew GJ was looking to go lower. And so that's why I kind of rushed the entry, if you want to call it that, because we did have that retrace, and you can call it the break retest. So this was the break retest, the rejection as follows. So I do feel like we're going a lower. I think we're 8 pips away from our first take profit, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the analysis. Pretty simple. It's good actually that we went to the 4-hour just to double check where we could stall during this short. Looks like we're going to stall maybe at our take profit levels, which is fine. And yeah, the 4-hour looks pretty good. Our final target is 139.24, 139.241, somewhere around there. I think I have it up here just in case we do come here. There's some minor support here. And GJ could be annoying. So pretty good start to the week. GU also went into some profit and is currently in some. We'll talk about that as well. Not much else to say about this trade. Pretty clean, pretty simple. Let's ride with it. Pound dollar. So this was a trade we analyzed in yesterday's live. And actually, let me do it. I'm just plotting it just to show you our idea. The stop loss. Make sure you follow the one that I posted on Telegram. I think the one I posted was somewhere here. Okay. Yeah. All those specific levels are on Telegram, but you can see if Trading View will let me. A setup was taken off the 4-hour. 4-hour resistance was established here. A lot of wicks attempts to go higher. Last time around, we came pretty close to our resistance region. You have to think about resistance as an area, not a specific price point. So we came there. When we got signs of stalling, we took the short, and it's a very similar setup this time around. We had a nice tap up. A bunch of sellers come in, and we're probably going to go lower. Our first take profit is 129 flat, so 129,000, I believe. This is just based off on my chart. The actual Telegram, my Telegram will have the specific levels that I'm talking about. So Hope everyone had a great day. And let's see what I said on my. The first take profit would be 129,245. Okay, cool. So we are 8 pips away. Perfect. So the setup looks good right now. It looks pretty valid. 4-hour candle. Very important closure. I really just want this 4-hour candle just to drop and melt. Some just to confirm that we're headed lower. Yesterday, after the session, we kind of had some mixed results. This 4-hour candle right here was actually down right here before it just flicked back up and created a hammer. And that's why I actually kind of moved our stops a bit, just in case we had a deeper retrace here and we wicked. We weren't going to get stopped out. But it's looking like we're going to be well on our way down. The only thing about the dollar right now is the impeachment hearings for President Trump, which is obviously a major detriment to the dollar. And so you don't know how it's going to affect it, but it's definitely something to look out for. I think this is a whole process, so I don't think there's going to be a result today. But just have CNN or whatever news channel you follow running on the background. We usually have Bloomberg running, and this usually talks about Trump as well. Just click play. If you have any issues with the portal, when you click NYC live session, just click refresh and try it again. It should be good to go. All the past are also good to go. If you get a notification for our sessions on YouTube, that is for our free sessions on Monday and Friday. We also air them on YouTube, so that's the reason why you're getting a notification. Hope that addresses your concerns. Now we're going to look at the majors we looked at yesterday. So the first one was EURUSD. This was not the setup we looked at, but you can kind of see that Euro has not really moved too much, and I was pretty cautious. Oh, this was the setup right here. So yesterday we spoke about the potential, just the potential of maybe longing to 1.11700, given that we get that bullish closure above 110,900. And this was during yesterday's live. We haven't made any significant push to there, okay? And this Euro chart is one we actually did from top to bottom, analyzed it on Friday's session. You can tell why it's very clean. And so we have a pretty interesting setup here on the Euro. I'm trying to probably squeeze this down so you can see. So we had our double top right here. We had our neckline. We can kind of see EURUSD is kind of stalling at this neckline, using as support. And so what we want is a break above to trade this range, a break below to maybe go lower, and our target is down here to go lower. So that's what we can be looking for Euro. Like I said, this week is pretty quiet in news. If you want, you can draw this trend line on the smaller time frame, 4 hourly. Just connecting this wick with the view here. Just added a confluence, but our target for short 1.09200. So that's the idea, and this is why we didn't jump the gun going long, because everything was getting us the dollar. And we'll talk a bit about this, why we didn't jump the gun, at the end when we talk about what to look for in a trade. But Euro hasn't moved much, so if you did enter, it could very well flick up because it has created support at this level. You can see support here, support here, support here. So it could very well flick up. On the other side, it could very well drop down. So getting the best entry, we want to wait for those two scenarios to play out. Taking a look at gold. And so this is the same thing here. So in yesterday's session, we were at this candle, this huge bullish candle for gold, and I had maybe 2 minutes of indecision where I'm like, just because of this candle, I'm not convinced for a long, not yet entirely. I have to see more, and thank God we didn't become impulsive and go long just because we had this bullish engulfing. Because the next 4 hours we actually dropped down on gold. So um, it all ties into experience and what I'll talk about at the end of the video. But I'm happy we didn't jump the gun, and sometimes just giving the extra thought into a trade before taking it could be the difference between profits and loss. And so this was the idea we printed yesterday. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, we really wanted a bullish closure above this this resistance we created. Obviously this did not happen. We just got wicked up, and and we had to drop down. This is why I do not use limit orders. If I'm gonna stay up, I'm gonna use the price action. I just right click, put an alert, and that way I'll get the ding on my phone through email on my chart, and I can see where the candle closed, how it closed. So right now we did get a push back up. We can see if there's a chance to go high again. Alternatively, gold loves to give us setups like this, and we love to take advantage. We've taken advantage of this setup before. The trading range for gold is pretty nice to trade, and you can see we've created one from here to here to here to here. If we get a rejection here, why not take it down? We are shorting pound dollar, so we are banking on some dollar strength right now. On the flip side, we can very well go long if this candle closes a bit more bullish. We can take it long to our first target at 1484. So I was trying to make it look a bit better to see. Maybe the daily will. So I'm gonna just go on the daily, let you guys kind of get an idea. Plot the levels down if you haven't on your chart. So we're looking for gold. 2 days of straight hammers. So that's actually kind of interesting. The bullish sentiment might be there for gold now. See how we waited? We're actually gonna get a better entry. But the daily does look bullish. Just based off these two candles coming off this previous wick zone where we wicked out of our way. Looking to the left, we also wicked out of our way, creating a hammer. So pretty decent potential to long it all the way to 1514. We just need that price action, and it'll take care of the rest once we enter. So that's gold. We took a look at USD yen as well. There was nothing too enticing there from yesterday's session, just because it was making such a major move from all the news. But you can see our last short idea actually stayed pretty intact. We did have a pretty decent sized retrace into our stop loss. I'm up to here, but it's still going well. We actually got out here. We took our profits here. Our partial got stopped out here, but nothing really too enticing for USD yen, especially when we have pound dollar and pound yen in profit. We're potentially waiting for gold, and I'll look at some miners since we did that yesterday before we end off the session with our topic of the day. If anyone has any pair recommendations, send them in the chat. We can also give a Bitcoin a look, which is doing phenomenal. So we'll do Bitcoin. Actually, we'll do miners, Bitcoin, the topic, and be done with today's session. So I'm just gonna flick through some miners that we could possibly trade. Pound Aussie could have a decent short on the 4 hour time frame. Could be. I don't really like to trade pound Aussie unless you have a good entry, because from here to here it's over 90 pips. So pretty crazy how much it moves per pip. Let's look at Euro Aussie. Maybe Euro Aussie has something. Euro NSD, nothing special. Aussie CAD. Let's take Aussie CAD. Nothing really too special, for being honest. I think it's gonna be a major week that we're gonna be trading. I'm just gonna ride that volume or lack thereof within the trading ranges. So what we'll do is take a look at crypto, Bitcoin, and we will be done with the session. Bit of lag going on. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is well on its way to our target of 7,500. I'm just going to extend this over, and you can see our idea is coming pretty nice. It went as low as 7,985. Our final target is 7,500. So pretty decent setup for Bitcoin playing out for you heads. Just a different market. So it is Tuesday. We still have the rest of the days for me to call out trades and for us to enter. So I'm going to start off with end off the session with the topic of the day. So the topic of the day is what to look for in a trade. So the number one thing after I'm done all the price action, I've plotted my levels, is I look at the risk to reward ratio. Ideally, you want to have a minimum of 1.35. Actually, that's the minimum. The ideal risk to reward is 2.0 plus. You want to gain twice as much as you would lose. Okay, and this way you can get probably the best possible setup. I think you can be around 40% right. With your trades, 40% success rate, and still be profitable if your risk to reward is higher than 2.0. So that's the first thing I look at. The next thing I look at is the time of the day that I'm taking the trade. So obviously you don't want to take a trade from the close. Another thing is you don't want to take a trade before any news release, and that's why we rely heavily on Forex Factory or a fundamental schedule. You never want to enter